Good afternoon. Welcome to Subu's Monday motivation, and this afternoon we are going to be talking about growing veg from veg. So this is just a fun little thing that we thought you might like to try during lockdown. I know that we're coming up to Christmas, so you could either try it now or watch this and think about growing your veg when you come back from uni in the new year. So we'll crack on and make a start. So this session is being recorded so that people can re-watch this at a later date and find out how they can grow veg from veg if they want to. You can ask questions by emailing us, and I'll give you details of our email address at the end of this presentation. So feel free to think about and email us some questions as I present these details to you. So first things first, what are the benefits of growing veg from veg? Well, firstly, it's really good to be sustainable as much as you can. It's something that Subu Sustainability, we like to encourage our students to do. So if you grow veg from veg, you're going to be saving money having to buy seeds. Although if you're quite clever and have a good rummage around some garden centres, you will find some fairly reasonable cheap seeds to grow. But if you're just feeling spontaneous and think, I want to grow veg from veg, it's going to cost you actually absolutely nothing. You can even save money buying pots and planters, because actually you can begin to grow your veg in water, and you can literally stick it in an old jam jar washed out, or an old yogurt pot washed out, or some sort of other food container, which will cost you nothing from that point on. And it's also really good to be reusing the glass or the plastic, particularly where we're encouraging you to avoid using plastics only once or single use. So that therefore is helping with the environment and really good sustainability practice to do that. It's also just really good for your own health and well-being. It's really tough finding hobbies and things to do that are inexpensive whilst you are on lockdown, or just being a university student anyway. So just sort of like thinking about growing your own plants and veg on your windowsill, it's just a really nice thing to do, and it brightens up your windowsill. So things you're going to need, pots or trays to plant in. Like I've said, you can use old food containers like your jam jars and your yogurt pots. But I'll be telling you about places where you can actually get proper plant pots from in a moment. You'll need some soil and or compost. Sometimes it's good to mix the two. You'll need veg waste. So that is actually the roots from any vegetables that you've been chopping up to prepare for your breakfast, lunch or dinner. You'll need to have a sunny spot in your house, so a windowsill or a sunny corner where there is at least a little bit of reasonably direct sunlight coming through into the room. And optional, that you can buy from garden centres, you can actually use rooting powder or liquid nutrients, although I've had a go at growing the veg myself, and I'll show you the results in a moment. And it's not always necessary for you to have the rooting powder or liquid nutrients. Okay, so let's talk about the different kinds of veg and herb that you can grow. So very easily from ginger roots that you just buy in the veg section from the supermarket, you can cut them down to size and grow more ginger from those. onions, garlic, potatoes, carrots, lettuce, leeks, celery. They're all very, very easy vegetables to grow. And you can also grow more veg from veg if you ever buy the fresh herbs from the supermarket shelf. You can actually break off a stem to about 20 centimetres long, strip the leaves off the bottom so that there are no leaves in the water. You put the stems in a jam jar or a yoghurt pot in the water for a couple of weeks, and you'll see roots start to form on the bottom, and then you can transplant those herbs into soil once you've got a good root growth going. So the types of herbs we're looking at are basil, mint, rosemary, oregano, sage and thyme. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is show you a short video clip from YouTube, which just has suggestions and ideas for how to plant up some of your veg from veg. Let's take a look. Cool. So I hope you enjoyed that short video. Oops. Just make sure I'm on the right page there. So yeah, really good video there. Just sort of like showing you lots of varieties of different veg and herbs that you can actually grow from home. And the one that I love, that I think I'm going to tackle in summer, is growing a pineapple from the top of a pineapple. So yeah, growing some exotic fruits looks like great fun too. So I also want to tell you about our Permaculture Society. The Permaculture Society is a student-led society, and they specialise in growing plants organically. They're actually very lucky because they have a polytunnel on the Talbot campus, which you may have seen towards the back of Kimmeridge House as you come onto campus near the cycle storage area. And that polytunnel is where they do planting and propagating. And they also have acquired an allotment at Alton Road, and that's just a short walk from the Talbot campus. And during times when we're not on lockdown and it is safe to do so, they run regular sessions at the allotment where you can join in and learn to grow veg and plant food in a lovely open space. So I'll just see if I can show you their page on the Student Union site there. So there we go. This is the Permaculture Society. There is lots of information there about the society, and you can join their social media or actually email the society using these buttons on the left. So I hope that you'll find that helpful. Okay, so next we have growing in halls of residence. So it's great to know that BU Res Life, who look after students who live in halls, they have recently acquired a load of tubs and planters to go in the open outdoor spaces in their halls of residence at the Lansdowne. And also here you'll see a picture of students planting out plants and flowers in a small allotment space that has been given to them at the student village on the Talbot campus too. So if you want to know more about what Res Life are doing, you can find them on their Facebook page here. Just search under BU Res Life and you'll find further details there. Okay. So let's take a look then at the stuff that I attempted to grow on my own windowsill. So you'll see here, this is my attempt at growing a carrot, and this is where I put the carrot top directly into soil, and that is weeks 1, 2 and 3. And I was pretty amazed that it did start to sprout on the top of the carrot, which was really good. Let's take a look at what happened trying to grow a carrot top in water first. Okay, so again here you can see I just put the top in a shallow bit of water in a dish. And within a couple of weeks, the carrot had started to grow. But interestingly, you can see on the bottom of there that there were no roots. So the top is just growing through that base, drawing the water up. With an onion then, this is where I put an onion here. You can see the onion going straight into the soil. And then after 1 week and 2 weeks, this little bud started to grow. Let's take a look at the same thing, growing the onion in water. And again, I just put it in a little shallow bowl here. The water did go a bit discoloured and it did smell really oniony. But amazingly, the buds and shoots started to grow at the top of the onion, and underneath there was a whole load of roots that had started to grow. So let's see if we can take a look at that now in real life. So I will show you. This is the carrot that was put directly in soil, and it's okay, but it doesn't really look like a very, very strong, healthy plant at the moment. It's growing okay-ish, and amazingly, there we go, there is the carrot in just water. So I've not used any liquid nutrients, any root compound, and that is absolutely amazing. And that looks like a really strong plant, and it looks like that would carry on growing really strongly if I now transfer that to soil. Same with the onion. There we go. Still a little bud on there, but not that strong. And then amazingly, let's take a look at the onion in water. You can see that again is growing really, really strongly. So those two plants that I've grown for a few weeks in water now look strong enough to be transferred to soil. So it was really worth sort of like doing that as an experiment, and I would recommend with most of your plants where they recommend starting in water first and transferring to soil to do that. Okay, so let's get back to our slideshow, and there we go. Yeah, you can see in the pictures there how well that had actually grown in the water. And there we go. Look at the root system that's grown on that onion from the water. It looks really, really strong now, ready to transfer. So we've got some starter packs for you if you would like to drop into the student centre, which is on Talbot campus. Come up to floor 2 and you'll be able to grab one of these starter packs where we've got a couple of plant pots in there. We've got a bag of compost, and just in case your veg from veg experiments aren't too successful, we've even popped in a couple of broad bean seeds in there for you to have a go at growing. Okay. Places where you might want to think about getting your resources from. I've tried to think about the places that are nearest to the university. So we've got Haskins Garden Centre, which is at Longham. That's probably about 2.5–3 miles away from campus. If you have a car, you could hop on the bus, or you could be brave and jump on a Beryl bike. And they actually have a huge crate outside the entrance of the shop where people can drop off and take plant pots for free. So if you've not got many yoghurt pots or empty food containers that you could use to have a go at growing your plants, Haskins is always a good place to go and get them for free. If you want to actually use compost, the range is about 1.5 miles away from campus. And that's at Ringwood Road Retail Park, and you can get a small bag of Westland general purpose compost with John Innes. Now that sounds really Gardener's World and Monty Don. What on earth is John Innes? But it's just actually the combination of soil and compounds that are mixed together to make a really, really good compost for growing plants in. And you can get a small 10-litre bag for £3.99, and that would probably be enough to fill, I don't know, at least 20 or 30 pots of this size. Okay, and we've also got Cherry Tree Nursery at Kinson. And that is a lovely nursery because it's a not-for-profit organisation and garden centre, and that actually supports people recovering from mental health challenges. So that is always a really nice garden centre to visit and see if you can get any of these resources from too. At the moment, garden centres are allowed to be open with lockdown, but do check their actual opening times might have changed because they have to keep within government COVID guidance. Okay, let's see if we can take a quick look at a map, and I'll try and share with you where you can actually find these places. Here we go. So here's Google Maps. Okay, so you've got Bournemouth University is just here, and this is the Wallisdown Road, and this is where you would actually travel in from Winton and Charminster areas, or Lansdowne, where the student halls are. So this is the Talbot campus. And if you go in a straight line across the Wallisdown roundabout, straight onto the next roundabout here and turn right, in this area here is Ringwood Retail Park, where the range is. So that would be dead easy to get to on a bus or a barrel bike. If you stay on Ringwood Road here, go through this roundabout, you'll see a Lidl here and a row of shops on your left. Go straight on through to the next roundabout. This is the Bear Cross roundabout, and you'll see the Bear Cross pub just over on your left there, and go straight across, follow this road over a bridge. You'll come to a roundabout here at Longham, and just here is Haskins Garden Centre, and that's actually a really lovely bike ride if you fancy hiring a barrel bike and going for a ride. Alternatively, if you were back on the campus here and you go left again to the Wallisdown roundabout at Kinson, and you go in a straight line down Kinson Road here, and you turn right, then just here, you can see it marked on the map, is Cherry Tree Nursery. So they're all really, really easy straight lines to follow from the Talbot campus to get to these places and buy some of these resources if you feel you need them. Cool, let's skip back to our PowerPoint then. Here we go. And here I've listed these tutorials for you. So you might want to take a screenshot of those tutorials now. But what we'll also be able to do, this video will be available online. And if you email Subu Sustainability, we can actually send you this PowerPoint presentation if you'd like to look through the slides again. Okay, so like I've said, feel free to ask any questions. If you can think of anything, there's our contact email, subusustainability@bournemouth.ac.uk. Don't forget to drop in and grab a starter pack with your plant pots and compost. From the Student Opportunities team. We're on floor 2 of the Student Centre on Talbot campus, and keep in touch with us. We would really like to know how you get on with growing your plant pots, or if you have any questions about it. So keep in touch with us via that email address, or drop in and chat to us. And I will look forward to hearing all about your growing experiences. And I hope this gives you something fun and interesting to do and brightens up your windowsill. So thank you very much for joining Monday Motivation today, and we'll be with you again in the coming weeks with further sessions and things to do. Take care. Bye-bye now, everyone.